Okay. September victories in New England, it's still warm, somewhat warm on those Sundays. So I used to go to my favorite spot after a win, Spruce Pond Creamery in Franklin, Massachusetts. Yes, chocolate cherry chunk, that's my flavor. Oof. Hot fudge on the bottom. On the bottom, because you get it as a reward when you finish, or you can dig down early. Just you got to have it sometimes. But it's January, it's December in New England. I don't like the ice cream. It's got to be warm. It's got to be warm outside. Sunshine. You could have it all year long.
You like ice cream, Wood?
Down there in
you
Texas.
Don't want to be around. I'm lactose intolerant.
Hey. We'll stop it right there.
We don't want to be. We won't be friends. If
I got a lot of different questions.
No ice cream.
Just talk about ice cream.
Our relationship just took a little hit.
It did.
Yeah,
that's okay.
All right.
I still love you, man.
Cherry chocolate.
Let's go to Weddle. He's facing his former team. Do you guys buy into the advantages when you're going up against a former team and a quarterback you play with for 9 years, all that?
Absolutely, because he's familiar with. He played with Phillip Rivers for 9 years. They know each other extremely well. And not only that, but you stay in contact. This is a California boy. He's San Bernardino guy. He's been in contact with the people back in California. And there's a certain energy when you play your former team. You've been around them. You know the landscape. You keep in contact as far as personnel, so you know each other. Even though he's playing in a different division, there's a familiarity with him in this football team, and I think there's an advantage. There's an obvious advantage for Eric Weddle as far as the cadence, and you'll talk more about that, but he knows who Phillip Rivers is.
The best disguising safety in the game, in my opinion. If you watch him, he's like a joker out there. Where is he going to be in that defensive coordinator, Wink Martindale's defense? He's up, he's dropping everything, and when you know the cadence and rhythm and body language of a quarterback, you can do it so much well. And he knows Phillip Rivers. His voice, the way he says his words, his inflection, those type of things. Our best disguises and our defenses I played with were against Brady during practice, because we knew what his body when he leant forward, and then he also brought the motion, and how his hard count was. We knew it was on 2. Those type of things, he has all of that information on Phillip Rivers.
Good stuff. And not to mention, who knows what kind of little conversations they had over 9 years where you pick up a little secret along the way. That stuff just happens.
You talk about Phillip Rivers being a quarterback on offense. This is the quarterback on defense. I guarantee they pick each other's brains.
When they get you and you're a safety or a linebacker, how'd you know I was dropping? The period's over, you're on the sideline. How'd you know I was dropping right there? He said, well, then you get that information from him. I'm sure they've had those conversations.
Guarantee it. So this is going to be a little rematch. So we had the Week 16 Road Warrior style is what happened. It was a butt whooping that those Ravens put on the Chargers. Let's give you a little details from the game. Baltimore's pass rush got after Phillip Rivers. According to ESPN's pass rush win rate using NFL Next Gen stats. How about that? T-Sizzle and company beat their blocks within 2.5 seconds of the snap on 75% of the plays. It was the Ravens' highest win rate in any game this season, and Rivers struggled trying to fit the ball into tight spots on tight window throws. Defined by Next Gen stats as no more than 1 yard of separation. Rivers was just 1 of 6 for 9 yards with 2 picks, and he threw just 1 ball into a tight window in that game. So let's get into this thing a little bit. What about the takeaways? When you have just two weeks ago that they played this, what can you take away from something like this when you run it right back?
Well, you can take away that there's not many changes you can make in 2 weeks, okay? And for Lamar Jackson, I think you realize if you're the Los Angeles Chargers, he really hurts you in play-action passes. And I have 3 examples of play-action passes for you on how they got hurt, because Lamar Jackson, is he a drop-back quarterback? No, he's not. He's more of a play-action quarterback. So right here is the first type of play-action. Play-action here, boot. Naked boot, meaning there's not going to be any type of puller coming this way. So as this happens, this offensive line, it does a pretty good job of selling up here, but the one thing as a linebacker you have to know is when that tight end's right there, you know it's going to be a boot, and you have to rotate back this way as a linebacker to get him back at the junction point, which is probably going to be right around there. It's pinned right here. Lamar Jackson comes around on the naked boot right here, and then boom, there's the separation because the linebacker didn't have his eyes right. So the first aspect, Jack, is the bootleg pass. Lamar has plenty of ability to hit those passes. Next, the classic RPO. RPO, how do you know this is an RPO? Because they're run blocking here and they're pass blocking right here. And Lamar is watching this player right here. Does he move off of this hash? Watch that player. He does move. So he pulls the ball and he's looking to his window right here. His first window with the tight end. He doesn't want it because he sees that's a tight window there. So he goes to his second window, which is the slant. Nice throw to a slant in between two defenders. That's accuracy right there. So you have the bootleg, you got the RPO, and then straight up play action pass. Earlier in the show, I talked to you about them using the safety in the box. There he is. There he is right there. This is a great read from the linebacker and the safety. You see they didn't get sucked up here. They're back in coverage. But still, by a quarterback that's gotten better the entire year, a defender that's in good position, an event defender over the top with a throw like that with the proper trajectory so it's not intercepted. The improvement of this young quarterback on play action pass is something the Los Angeles Chargers, they better be ready for it.
That's a hell of a throw right there. That guy Andrews can run too. Contact the social team. That was pretty dang good. That's got to go up on Instagram right there. Unfortunately, you got to go too.
Yeah.
What have you been noticing here?
Listen, I think the one thing you saw a lot of missed opportunities with the San Diego Chargers in that game. And one thing we did see is early on, the Chargers knew one thing. We got to get the lead. We got to find a way to get the lead and be explosive and force Lamar Jackson to get in his game plan and throw the football here. And here's the one-on-ones that you want to see. They got a one-on-one right here with Brandon Carr and Mike Williams, and they know they like this matchup. This is a matchup they absolutely first play of the game. They know they want to take a shot here, and we see this now. You see Phillip Rivers looking here. He has that matchup still. He has this matchup as well. And as this goes on, this is a missed opportunity. We know right now that Mike Williams has won this battle. This battle is won. The separation's right here. He throws his ball. Carr makes this interception right here. This would have really opened up this game to start off the game again. Here, another big play. They talk about Melvin Gordon getting started in this run game. But we're going to see how this offensive line blocks. They're going to get the block here. They're going to get the block here as well. And then right here with Mike Williams, he's going to get his block on Eric Weddle as well here. But in the end, you got to finish blocks, Mike Williams. You got to finish this block off because Melvin Gordon could easily, if you move Eric Weddle, he gets almost to the end zone or in the end zone, and that's the score. Those are the opportunities that they're missing there. Big run, but at the same time, here's another big play. We talk about the big plays for San Diego Chargers. That's what they're built on. How do we get those splash plays? Well, you get your guy Mike Williams here, and a couple weeks before here, he makes a big play against Kansas City in this same play here. Well, you want to find ways to get your blocks. Got to get your block here. Got to get your block here. And if you do, you have a huge lane in here so Mike Williams can be successful. But what happens? They don't get their block, closes down the lane, and you see a lightning rod right here. And Tony Jefferson coming in to make this play. That's how you hit, guys. But you look at the Chargers, and they had opportunities. They had a lot of opportunities. Just missed your block, didn't do the right thing, got off your assignment. You got to make those plays. And Phillip Rivers has to complete his pass.
Way to follow it up, baby. Way to follow it up. So let's welcome in Adam Schefter, see if he can follow that up. Good news out of L.A. There's only one player who was not available for that Week 16 matchup and really wasn't available for the entire season, talking about Hunter Henry. Adam, what are you hearing about him coming back from that ACL and the kind of impact he can have come Sunday?
Jack, it's been 7 months and 15 days since Hunter Henry tore his ACL during an OTA last spring for the Chargers. He has practiced the last couple of weeks. He's looked good in practice. Now today, Chargers head coach Anthony Lynn said they have until Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern to activate him and obviously make a decision here in the next 24 hours. My understanding is he is expected to be activated. He will play a limited amount on Sunday. He potentially could be a weapon for these Chargers, an added weapon for Phillip Rivers, especially in the red zone. Hunter Henry is a tremendous football player, was a big loss to this Chargers offense. It was able to overcome his loss, but it looks like he could be a contributor to some extent on Sunday in the wild card round at Baltimore.
Something to keep an eye on, no doubt. Adam, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Well,
Jack.
it has been 4 years since we lost one of the greatest men to ever work inside of these walls. And just wanted to say to his daughters, Taylor and Sydney, as well as the entire Scott family, that we're thinking of you today. Rest in peace to a man who inspired an entire generation, the great Stuart Scott.
When you die, that does not mean that you lose to cancer. You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and in the manner in which you live. So live, fight like hell. And when you get too tired to fight, then lay down and rest and let somebody else fight for you.
And today, on the anniversary of Stuart's passing, you can help continue a fight that meant so much to Stuart in his fight against cancer in support of minority scholars and research. Visit jimmyv.org/Stuart Scott. All donations benefit the V Foundation for Cancer Research. Afternoon on tap. We head to Philly where our ace Eagles reporter Tim McManus is dead in the middle of all that action. Tim, Alshon Jeffrey against his former team on Sunday. What's the mindset for him as he prepares for Chicago?
Jeffrey, a little chilly, actually, when he was asked about his old town earlier this week, saying, "I love Philadelphia. Chicago is just where I was for work," adding that there's no extra emotion about playing the Bears, just that they're a team that is in the Eagles' way. And Jeffrey figures to be a big part of this game. You know, he and Nick Foles are really clicking. Since Foles got into the lineup week 15, Jeffrey averaging 5 catches for 100 yards, and look for Foles to continue searching for Jeffrey in this game, especially late. You know, Jeffrey has a sense for the big moment, and wide receiver Nelson Aguilar likened it to a star basketball player who searches for the last shot, saying he's a guy that has killer instinct. Jeffrey will look to close out his old team this weekend.
We'll see what happens, Tim. Thank you very much. So a look will go right now to the battle, really the best battle of all, in my opinion, down in the trenches. We're going to use these NFL Next Gen stats powered by AWS. The Eagles' D-line has returned to form in 2018 per ESPN's pass rush win rate using NFL Next Gen stats. I love that. The ESPN front has 4th highest win rate, beating their block within 2.5 seconds, 57% of the time. And on the other side of the ball, Chicago's offensive line has sustained its blocks for 2.5 seconds, 66% of the time since week 10. That's the best mark in the NFL. 2.5 seconds, we're saying that's about the average time to pass. So there you go. This next gen stuff keeps getting a little bit cooler.
Special, man. Yeah, it is.
Just a little bit cooler. So this Eagles defensive line went about 8 deep in that Super Bowl run. They had all kinds of people. How have they evolved and still found success?
Well, Michael Bennett is finally coming back around. They wonder why. Well, they brought in Michael Bennett and you say, okay, they're going to be really explosive early on. It didn't happen that way, but the end of the season really started to change things, and Michael Bennett really came on, and this group right now, this front four, will absolutely get at you. Right now, you see Brandon Graham up top, Michael Bennett here at the bottom, and when they get off the ball, they find ways to beat you quickly off the ball. 1.9 seconds is what Next Gen is saying. Off the ball, here you go, get the sack here. You know, Fletcher Cox gets a sack, but you see the pressure coming on the other side. And here again, you got Brandon Graham up top, and here Michael Bennett in a one-on-one situation to slide protect. Now he's in a one-on-one situation. 2.2 seconds. He's beat immediately off the line of scrimmage, and that gives any quarterback trouble, especially Eli Manning, who will not scramble. And then Fletcher Cox. There's a reason why you slide the protection to Fletcher Cox. 2.3 seconds. He beats his man immediately. This is unfair. This is absolutely unfair. When they get you in one-on-one situation, like Next Gen just explains, it's 1.9, 2.1, 2.3. They're in the backfield extremely fast, and it really hurts the quarterback.
Fletcher Cox is a bad man. We can tell you the Eagles' defensive line is so important because that Eagles secondary leaves people wide open. They've allowed an average of 3.7 yards of separation to opposing receivers. That's the second worst in the NFL. So, Teddy, if Mitch Trubisky has to make the play with his arm, do you trust him?
If you're talking about in the pocket consistently where he has to stand there and be a drop-back passer, I do not trust him. That is where he struggles. Accuracy has been a problem for him at times in the past. However, this is a special player in Trubisky, not with his accuracy, but with his ability to escape. This is one of the fastest quarterbacks in the league when he gets out of the pocket. He can run, he can use his legs, and on the run, all right, throwing on the run in broken plays. Those are the plays I'd be afraid of if I were the Eagle defense, because you have to just cover for so long because Trubisky is so slippery in the pocket and he's so elusive and fast. Faster than you think. I mean, he'll get, let's keep talking Next Gen. He'll get up to 19 miles per hour, 18 miles per hour. He's that fast of a quarterback, so you got to run him down and hustle.
Handful of athletic quarterbacks we're going to see this weekend. So the 15 Pro Football Hall of Fame modern era finalists were announced yesterday. The list includes 3 first-year eligible players, Tony Gonzalez, Ed Reed, Champ Bailey, but a ton of great players and coaches among the group. The Hall's Board of Selectors meet February 2nd in Atlanta, the day before the Super Bowl, to narrow down the list to the max of 5. So Ed Reed, Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez in the class. What do you guys think? Is that obvious first round first ballot Hall of Famers to you guys?
I'll give Ed Reed his jacket right now.
Yeah.
And I'd also give Tony Gonzalez his jacket right now. And Champ Bailey, they've got one waiting for you. All right, I don't know if it's this year. There's another cornerback I'm rooting for in Ty Law, who I played a lot of games with and won a lot of championships with. I hope he gets serious consideration. He's a multiple-time finalist.
Yeah, and it's hard to separate those guys because Ty Law is, like you said, he's a Super Bowl champion. He's played extremely well, but Champ Bailey came in, and he was supposedly the next Deion Sanders. He was a shutdown corner. For years, you measured yourself as the best cornerback in the league. You always measured yourself against Champ Bailey. So there's a number of guys on that list. Those 15 guys on that list, all deserving.
Yeah, great class coming up. So we will come back. This is it's bold prediction time here. The boldest crew on the tube we have.
Yes.
We're getting bold next on NFL Live.
Hall of Fame update is brought to you by K Jewelers.
Fighting for a ring while 8 teams are fighting for the coach of the future. Some of the coaching interviews going on around the league today. The Jets talking to former Dolphins head coach Adam Gase, while the Packers talking to Patriots assistant Josh McDaniels, who took one and kind of went back, Brian Flores. So let's welcome in the man who has the ear to it all. He is Adam Schefter. Adam, what is the latest on the coaching search going on right now?
Jack, busy day in Foxborough. The Green Bay Packers are there, as are the Miami Dolphins. The Packers interviewed Josh McDaniels and Brian Flores, the Patriots defensive coordinator. The Packers spending time essentially with both Patriots coordinators. So it's a busy time for the Packers. The Dolphins also are there meeting with Brian Flores as well. So lots of interest in the Patriots defensive coordinator, who looks like he could come out of this cycle with a head coaching job, as could Josh McDaniels. Now, also, there's Jim Caldwell, the former Lions and Colts head coach, who interviewed with the Cardinals on Thursday. Caldwell already has met with the Browns and the Cardinals and the Jets. So he's done some the Jets have expressed interest. A lot of people interested in Jim Caldwell, the former head coach, at this particular time, generating a lot of interest. Also, again, a candidate in all those places at this time. And we'll find out whether or not he can get one. Adam Gase, the former Dolphins head coach, meeting with the New York Jets today. Gase already has interviewed with the Cardinals, so it's the Cardinals and the Jets for the time being. There have been some other conversations. We'll see whether or not he gets an interview. As for Eric Bieniemy, he has met with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's got a bunch of meetings this week, 4 in all. He's got the Bengals set for Saturday afternoon at some point in time, meeting with Cincinnati after the Bengals get done with Shane Waldron and Zach Taylor, the Rams assistant, on the West Coast. So a busy dance card for Eric Bieniemy at this time, as he has 4 head coaching interviews in a 2-day span, as the Chiefs also await to see which team they'll be playing in the divisional playoff round next week.
Good stuff, Adam. Thank you very much. It is time now for bold predictions.
Wild card bowl.
Yes.
NFL Live. Who wants to get bold first? Aaron?
I'll go first, man. Listen, we already saw Teddy's tape on T.Y. Hilton, how he's killing people, pressing them, kills you, kills your zone, kills you. T.Y. Hilton goes for 200 yards this weekend, 2 TDs.
All right, that's bold. I'm going to go to the Dallas-Seattle game, and Zeke, who got a week off, Tyron Smith got a week off. He gets 150. He's going off to Dallas. They're going to get a body on Bobby, get him blocked up, and that defense is going to be playing. Zeke's going to ball.
Hey, all of a sudden, there's another tight end in Dallas. They didn't have a tight end all year. Dak wasn't looking at him, wasn't getting any getting any looks. Well, Blake Jarwin went off last week, 119, 3 touchdowns. I'm saying 100 yards and a TD in a playoff game. They're begging Witten to come back, all this noise.
Oh, man, please.
Jarwin can run.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
I'm out. You just got to keep it.
Man.